What's good, everyone? It's Bliss Mode, back with another video, back with something a little different this time. So if you do like the video, do me a favor and hit that sub button. Feel free to leave a comment. It's all much appreciated. I have been getting a lot of requests for fan art, and this is something that I have been getting requests for a while now. And I'm always saying, "Oh, I'll get around to it. Yeah, I'll do fan art. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of characters I want to draw and illustrate. Just never got around to it. Before the pandemic started, I was traveling around to different parts of the US, going to conventions. Some of you might have seen me at some if you ever went to any anime or comic conventions. And I would go there to sell my art. Now, every time I would go, I would always be in a huge sea of artists, really talented artists, but I would always be a standout in the sense that almost all of my work that was shown was original characters. Well, in fact, at the conventions, 100% of my work that was shown was original characters. And it would always be me and then a few other artists sprinkled in doing their own original work. And honestly, in the convention scene and just traveling around, trying to make money, make a living that way, it's kind of a detriment to not have fan art. You're walking around in this huge convention, and then, it might seem a little conceited, even in a way, to walk up to this random artist sprinkled in this sea of fan art who kind of decides that he wants to not follow that tradition, I guess, and showcase his own original work. And so, going to these conventions, I would always get the advice, from other artists and vendors, just being very honest with me and teaching me. I really learned a lot from vendors and artists at the conventions. So I'm grateful for that. But it was very obvious that I would have done a lot better at the conventions. And I was happy with what I was doing at the conventions, but I would have done a lot better if I had taken the time to showcase more fan art. Even if just to, draw eyes to the table, to the booth. But there was never really a reason why I never committed to doing that much fan art. I would do a couple here and there. I don't really show it off too much. But I would always get requests for it, so I know it's something that people really want to see. And so I really want to make the effort to start doing more fan art for you guys. And so that's what I've decided to do. I have a bunch of characters in mind. Um, if you have any suggestions for characters you want to see, please leave them in the comments below. I can't promise that I will do all the suggestions, but maybe something will spark my interest. And so I would be doing fan art in the past, and every time I would start one, I would, you know, think to myself, okay, how do I want to do this? I'd come up with a cool pose, a cool composition, and then I would start on it, and then I'd get maybe 10% of the way in, and then something in my brain clicks. And the thing about it is, I really love illustration, but I also really love design. And so I would get about 10% of the way into these drawings of fan art, different characters, and I would say, you know what, I really want to design my own character, right? This character has this shape of hair, but I want to do something with the hair that's going to add to my composition, maybe. So I don't want to follow this character's set hairstyle, or I want to add in my own clothing design. So I don't really want to stick to this character's design. And eventually I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to create my own character. And that's usually what ends up happening. And it's not because I don't have characters that I love or that really inspire me. It's just because I find a lot of enjoyment in design. And so, if I get to find some enjoyment in illustration and design all in one go, it's just like a win-win for me. So that's usually what ends up happening. But going forward, I'm going to make an effort to start creating more dedicated fan art pieces, and I won't switch it up 10% of the way in and just start designing my own character. I will still be doing original characters, of course, but I'm gonna start, periodically, let's say, throwing in fan art characters. So be on the lookout for those. And in the process of this, just kind of having that limitation set in my mind, it kind of helped me to focus on some things. Maybe focus more on composition, or since the character has these design aesthetics already set to them, how do I make them fit within my style? How do I find something dynamic out of them? And so it's a really good exercise to do fan art. And, I think I probably have been neglecting that to some extent. I wouldn't say I fully neglected it because I'm always like 24/7 looking at art. Like all I do really is just stare at art online, and I collect art books, so I'm always staring at artists and trying to analyze their styles and their designs. Normally when I'm doing that stuff, I won't do something that's post worthy. I'll just go in a sketchbook and sketch it out real quick, come up with ideas. I'll make mental notes on the shape language that the artist uses and how they're creating certain aspects and how they're capturing a certain appeal in their work. But being forced into a set character design is like really good mental practice. And doing this piece, that's the one thing that I think I took away from this. And if you don't know, this character is Yoko from Gurren Lagann. If you haven't seen the anime, then you just got to go watch it because it's like one of the best ever, if not the. I'm really inspired by the creative team behind Gurren Lagann. It's a lot of the animators and artists from Gainax, the later days of Gainax, and eventually they formed Studio Trigger. So I'm talking about guys like Hiroyuki Imaishi, Sushio, Yo Yoshinari, who else? Atsushi Nishigori. So these are all artists, animators, and storytellers that have really inspired me. And so I just felt that it was kind of necessary to make the first character in this kind of series of fan art characters one of their characters. And of course, Yoko was like the standout for sure. So I'm really glad that I got to draw her design, and I had a lot of fun doing it. A lot more fun than I thought I would, honestly. Maybe it's just because I love the character and the story so much. But either way, it was good practice and a great experience. And so, the funny thing is, I was going to name this video How to Draw Yoko, but I see a lot of videos like that. And this video, obviously, I'm not really telling you how to draw Yoko. I never really quite understood videos like that unless you were trying to draw the specific character in the specific pose, that very specific image. So I tend to not do tutorials like that. If you want a different video, I can go over some of the things I was thinking about and kind of make a more, I guess you could say, I don't want to say tutorial video, maybe more educational video on some of the things I'm thinking about while drawing Yoko, while drawing someone else's predetermined design. As far as core component is concerned, my manga and comic, I really have just been extremely busy this week, so I wasn't able to get as much done as I would have liked. That's one of my goals for this coming week, is to really buckle down and finish up chapter 2 and get it out for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. Even with this fan art, I'm going to take some of the things I've learned doing this and try to apply them. I'm always trying to apply what I'm learning in every piece that I do, and doing this piece and thinking about people like Hiroyuki Imaishi. If you've never seen his work, I highly suggest checking it out. He's really stand out, especially for his storyboarding and shot composition. Very dynamic, always action packed. Literally every scene in the films and the series that he directs are always on point, top tier, god level. And so that's one of the things that this piece specifically got me thinking about. And so I'm going to try to up my game in that regard and just try to become more exaggerated, I would say. That's one of the things that I think specifically Studio Trigger excels at, is just being extremely exaggerated and also extremely cool at the same time. Yeah, but I just want to thank you guys again. I guess I'll wrap the video up here. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, questions, anything at all, feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to see the full finished piece, subscribe to me on Instagram. And I haven't decided if I'm going to turn these fan art pieces into, printer stickers. I'm a little wary about doing that. I know like everyone sells fan art, and I don't really have like a moral stance on it. Like, I'm not against it, but I'm just not 100% sold on if it's something that I want to do. If you would like this image in print or sticker form, give me your feedback and maybe we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up here. Thanks again, and I will catch you guys later.